After a draft EIS and a final EIS, we are on the eve of the release of the Record of Decision. Up to this point, all of the communications have been fairly one-sided. The federal government has big plans for the island, yet not much has been done to include local leaders in the community into the planning process.
The legislature feels that the concerns of Guam's people have yet to be adequately addressed. Up to this point, the federal government has pushed back concerns regarding the dredging of radioactive waste in Apple Harbor. They successfully sidestepped the Pauget issue by saying they're not actually using Pauget lands, even though the entire Pauget area will be affected by the firing range. And then there are questions regarding financing. And even though there are funds coming in from Japan and the federal government, Gov Guam has yet to see any money blowing in.
No doubt, the military buildup could be the most critical event in the island's history, yet Guam's leaders and its people fear that their concerns have been falling on deaf ears.
When the record decision comes out and it doesn't address those things that we've been raising from the very beginning, beyond saying that they're going to come into a very unwanted and unwelcome environment, I think we need to do something as an island community, maybe file a lawsuit to have some kind of permanent injunction, or do something that causes the federal government to be embarrassed. That's exactly how our government of Guam was born through the Organic Act, when a few senators, including former Speaker Carlos Tidno and others, just walked out of the legislature to protest how the people of Guam are being treated by the United States. And then,
while those measures may seem drastic, the people of Guam are running out of options. Local leaders have tried to promote cooperation and transparency, but have received little information in return. Speaker Wonpat has been very vocal about the challenges involved in communicating with military and government officials regarding the buildup.
The military is big on protocol. They're really big on this. They know they can follow the chain of command, but somehow when it comes to us here in the local government, they don't. So they bypass, the speaker's office. They bypass the chairperson on the committee on military affairs. So they go to everybody else. So what does this tell us? Because if they can disrespect, local officials, trust me, they would disrespect everything else about our island and our culture. And Pauget is an example of that as well, because they don't care.
The Speaker states that despite extensive efforts from the legislature, they are still being treated on a need-to-know basis. Like many on Guam, Wonpat is not anti-military, but simply wants answers to these critical issues. The buildup will affect all Guam residents, both military and civilian alike. If the buildup continues to proceed as it has been, it will seem more like a hostile takeover than the mutually beneficial partnership that it has been promoted to be. Keeping it local for Guam News Watch, I'm Kristen Pinko.